Welcome back to the Penitent and Life of a Felon here on a Monday night on the set once again. Trying to crank out another video for you guys. Hope y'all liked the last one. We were giggling, man. We were laughing.
Oh yeah.
It's joy right there. Trying to contemplate what we want to talk about today, man. We have so many, we don't even know where to start. Don't even know where to start, man. I'm just glad to be back at the gym, huh?
Yeah, your second day back, right?
Yeah.
You're focused today.
First day back since Monday. Today, Monday.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't go all last week, maybe once.
Oh okay.
I feel like I'm getting my pump back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm getting my pump back. I feel good about that. You know, man, I was thinking today too. You know, you really gotta be grateful what you got, you know? Really, man, you know, you really gotta count your blessings, man, because you know, today, you know, when I was working out today, I was really grateful. You know, I'm 46 years old. So I see myself as, you know, I look good, man, even compared to some of them youngsters in there, you know. And I really appreciate what I have, man, as far as like my physique, you know, my health. You know, you really got to be thankful for that, because that could be taken away at any moment, you know. You know, anything can go wrong, you know. You can break an ankle, tear a muscle, you know. Lately I've been stretching a lot, man, trying to get into that yoga. You know that? I'm trying to get into that yoga. It's good for you, man.
Yeah.
That yoga.
Yeah, I ain't never done that before.
Yeah, I got a mat. I feel like my body, since I've been working out, has been being compelled to want to do these stretches, you know. You know, I think that's a holy thing. I think that's, I don't know, it's beyond this conversation right now, but maybe we'll talk about that one day, about that, you know. Yoga, stretching, all that good stuff, man. It's really good for your body, man. You really gotta, I'm telling you, man, you really gotta take care of yourself. Gotta take care of yourself. I was thinking about reading this letter here. I got all these letters, by the way, guys, from a lot of homeboys I used to write. About 6-7 homeboys keep in touch with. These letters are 14 years old, by the way. 14 years old. Well, the oldest ones are like 14 years old. I still keep track of, I'm gonna keep contact with my homeboy, Frank. You know, he's serving a life sentence for murder, capital murder. I hope he's under the old law. I'm not even sure, you know, if he's eligible to get out, even, you know, at 30 years or whatever you have to do on a life sentence. You have different kinds of life sentences. You got one, I think they passed a law back then while I was down about 13 years ago. So somewhere before 13 years ago, between that time, they came out with a law, life without parole. So you know what that means. You're never gonna get out, you know. But I think he still has a chance, even if you're old. You know, you know, he may still even, you know, be blessed to see the light of day. You know, I mean, something's better than nothing. But I mean, that time will come. That time will come. So I got this letter here from old homeboy of mine. He's a white dude out of, I believe he was from Austin, Texas. Kelly Wallace. Shout out to Kelly Wallace if you ever sees this video. This was on a Saturday. When was this? December 31st, 2007. Right before New Year's Eve, I guess. He has an old number, by the way. 606. I'm not gonna say the other ones, but that tells me that that's an old number, because my number was 75. So I went down and, well, I got locked up in 93, but I didn't hit the system till 96. So that's when I got my number, was in 96. So this tells me he's like early 90s, 92, 93. But anyhow, he says, "What's up, dude? Nothing here really. I got your letter and was surprised to hear from you. You know how everyone says they'll write and they never do. So I was surprised to get your letter. Sounds like you were doing all right out there. At least you got a job in a car." So I had only been out like a couple of months, and I already got a job real quick when I first got out. Well, yeah, when I first got out this time, I got a job. That's another testimony in itself, you know, really.
Yeah.
Got a job real quick. So he says, "What do you do at the print shop?" He says, what do they pay the pressmen there? And do they have the same machines here? Do they have a Speedmaster? that's all I work on now in the print shop. I ran the storms the other day when they didn't show up. They also got another folder the other day, a bomb folder. They haven't got it wired up yet though. What kind of car did you get? It really doesn't matter as long as it runs and rolls. I got another set off for 1 year. I got my answer the 1st of November. So I'll see parole again in August. I discharged in 16 months. So either way, I'll be out soon. I'm sure to make it next time. I'll be 8 months away from discharging. By the time I get my answer though, it will be more like 5 months from discharging. So either way, I don't have long to go. I'll get going now. Drop me a line when you get time, and until then, be cool and let me know what's up. Won't be long until I'm out of here and we'll kick it. Be cool, bro, Kelly. Yeah, I never wrote him back, but you know, I wanted to keep my promise, you know, at least, you know, when I say I'm gonna do something, I at least want to say I did it, you know. I mean, I wrote him, you know, hopefully he's doing all right wherever he's at, you know, hopefully he is, man. But yeah, man, you know, these guys are good dudes, man.
There was a question in the comments. What would you tell 18-year-old you who walked into a cell to 30-something years old you that was finally discharging?
You know, yeah, that's a good question, man. That really is, because I've heard of the questions being posed as like, what would you tell, like, I'm 46 now, what would I tell my 18-year-old self? But that question, the way you pose it is very interesting, because like if I'm leaving prison and I tell my 18-year-old self, you're saying, what like how to do his time or something?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question, man. Man, I'll tell him so much, man. I know one thing, I'll tell him the way I did my time, even better, you know. Use that time wisely. Because time, man, time flies. And time can be wasted. You know what I mean? Time can be wasted. You know, even though you're doing time, it don't have to be a bad thing. You know, I always thought positive, you know. Like, I always seen prison as a university. Me, you know, and I'm pretty sure there's others that thought like that, you know, like it's a university. You know, there's a lot of good in there, you know. It's not really, prison is not all bad, you know. It's there. You know, you got your killings, your rapes, your bad guards, you know, your what do you call it, setups, your frame, you know how the guards, they frame you. You got all that. It's all there. You got the hard work, hard labor. But you know, you also got good things in prison. You got education, you got trades, you got weights, you got books, you got law libraries, you got Christian libraries. You know, there's so many, you know, you can pick out what you choose. You know, you could choose to do your time the way you want to do your time. You know, you ain't gotta, you know, a lot of these guys, I feel like they're I feel like they're still being peer pressured, you know. I feel like, you know, if they're in a group of guys, you know, they feel like they want to, you know, be badasses, you know, Billy badasses, you know, but it ain't got to be like that, you know. People, I don't think they're, you know, a lot of these guys ain't even strong enough to think for themselves, you know what I mean? You can't care what anybody thinks, man, because there was a lot of times where, you know, I backed down from a couple of fights. You know how they say you got to choose your own battles? You know, I was already like in my late 20s, you know, 30, you know. I didn't even, you know, I knew what I was made of. You know, I wasn't, you know, I knew I can get down, in other words, you know, if it came down to it. That wasn't even the issue, you know. You know, the issue is making the right choices, you know, because like I said, man, it's easy to get in and hard to get out, you know. That's what, you know, I was just focused on getting out, you know, doing me, because I was always a self-made man, you know. Since I was a kid, I was always a self-made man, a self-made guy. You know, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. You know, you just gotta do you, man. You gotta do you. You gotta do what's best for you. You know, 10 years from now. You know, so back to your question. You know, I'm talking. You know, if I'm talking to an 18-year-old kid that just walks in my cell, he's beginning his 20-year sentence, and I'm just finishing mine. You know, I'm gonna tell them, you know, don't follow the crowd. You know, don't follow the crowd. Do you? Because nobody's, you know, when you get out of prison, them guys are gonna probably still be in prison. They're gonna go home. They're not gonna worry about you. They're not gonna think about you. They're gonna think about themselves. You know, you can't think. You can't care what they think. You know what I mean? You gotta do you. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, you just gotta do you, man. Do better yourself, man. You know, I kind of regret that I didn't take more trades, more livelihood. Even to this day, I regret not having the skills of like carpentry or mechanics. Well, I know a little bit of mechanics out here, you know, because my car problems out here, I've, you know, learned, you know, how to manage. But the point is, man, there's some mad skills in there, man. They have, you know, like my friend Kelly was saying, print shop. See, I wanted to learn the print shop skill, you know, because they say that was a big thing. Pressmen were in Austin, or I guess a prestigious job, you know, being a pressman, because you get paid good money, man. 18, 25 bucks an hour or more, depends. But so I learned that skill, how to do press, you know, pressing, you know.
Yeah.
You know, when you know, pressmen can make good money. You could work for them newspaper places, you know. It's amazing, man. Good money, man. But basically, that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self, you know. Just use it, man, because, you know, that, like I keep saying, that time, it's a paradox, you know. It's like how they say life is too short. It really is, man. Look at me now. I'm 46 years old. I look back, it's like, wow, it's like a moment. Just like the Bible says, it's like a blink of an eye. Yeah. You know, time is like, you got to use it wisely, man. You know, that's what I would basically tell them, man. Just mind your own business, do your thing, get your skills. Basically, get your skill, get a good skill or two. Read up on your vocabulary, study the law, read some spiritual books, because that's gonna help you. That's most important, because that's what's gonna develop your character, you know. That's the true character, your spirit self. That's what, you know, I would tell them to do that, you know.
What's that saying that it only takes 5 seconds for someone to judge you?
Yeah. I learned that while I've been out here. See, you know how they say the first appearance, you know, your first 5 seconds is what people have the first impression of you, you know. So when you walk up to somebody and you meet somebody, how you present yourself within that 5 seconds, they'll judge you, you know, almost, you know, for the rest of their lives, you know. So you gotta be a respectable person, you know. Another thing I would say is don't get tattoos all over your face. That's another thing these guys were doing. I don't understand that, you know. It's funny because now that you say that, you know, my mom, you know, she told me, that's the only time that I listened to my mom. She told me one time, she said, Mijo, when you go in prison or when you're in there, don't get no tattoos. And I actually listened to that. You know why? Because I told myself, I said, you know what, man, I've never listened to my mom when I was a kid. Didn't listen for nothing. I did what I wanted to do. And I told myself, I said, you know what, I'm gonna at least listen to her on that. You know what I mean? Really, I said, you know what, I'm not gonna get no tattoos. And believe me, man, it was tempting, man, because I had a lot of people, you know, hit me up, you know, hey, I'm gonna tattoo you up. And I said, nah. So I came out clean. I didn't have no tattoos. The ones that I have here are from the world. But yeah, I would tell them that too, man. Don't get these tattoos, man. These guys, man, they get all, you know, you've seen them, all in their face and their neck. No good, man. I don't understand, man, how these guys, you know, they don't foresee the future, you know. They don't foresee that, hey, when I get out, you know, I'm gonna have to go look for a job, you know. And that's, you know, that's no good, you know. That's no good, man. I mean, that speaks for itself, you know. It's like, well, there's like a movement now, like nobody, I mean, I've even read written articles in school about that, like about tattoos. Because nowadays in the workforce, you have people with tattoos, you know, even in the law firms, or, you know, you see police officers with their sleeved out. But it's just on a case-by-case basis. But you know the kind of tattoos that look penitentiary looking like, you know? Those are the ones that I'm talking about. I mean, you don't want to really do that. You can tell, you know?
I think nowadays people get them for fashion.
For fashion?
And
Yeah.
I think that's why they okayed it. And I think back then that wasn't really around unless you were...
Yeah, right.
It was a different image back then compared to now.
Right. Yeah, and I think you are right because I think I'm outdated, you know? Yeah, I mean, nowadays I do see guys like that, you know, they still have jobs, you know, but...
Like I said, I think it's more fashionable now. Like people get it because it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think to me, like it's a meaning of a life that you've been through, things that you've gone through that got you through life, and you know, the ups and downs and stories your body. It should tell a story, and a lot of people get like cops now. They get it because it's a fashionable thing and it looks cool and this and that. But like the way I was raised, was always told is that, you know, you get something on you get it because it meant something to you, or it's something that you've been through in life, and things like that. That's just the way it was back then. That's the way I was raised back then. I have more of that old school mindset. I'm young, but I have more of an old school mindset because that's all I grew up around. Was old
you're
schools.
right though. You're onto something. Yeah, you're right though. It goes back to, like I said, a word earlier in one of my other videos. It's called a zeitgeist. It means like the spirit of the times. Like zeit means spirit. Zeit means time. Geist means spirit. It's a German word. It means the spirit of the times. And you're right though. A lot of people have tattoos nowadays, you know, everywhere. So it really doesn't matter. But I guess I'm speaking back then. But anyhow, that's one of the things I would say is, you know, get your trades. Read up on your, you know, read the word, man, because the word is so powerful. You know, read the word, read some books, educate yourself basically, you know. Don't just waste your time, man, you know. Don't, you know, you come out after doing 10 years and you don't know anything, that's just a waste of time, you know. I mean, at least use the time wisely, you know. Get something out of it. Like I said, there's good and bad in prison, you know. It's what you make it. It's like an old convict told me. It's what you make it, you know. Prison is what you make it, you know what I mean? You know, you can choose to run with these crowds and be a rascal and doing all this racket, picking up more time, or you could just be your man, stand strong, and look, you know, do you better yourself, you know what I mean? So when you get out, you can support your family, because like I said, them guys, years later, they're not gonna look back and say, oh man, that dude was cool. Or they may, but it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? It's not gonna matter. Because look at you now. You didn't get any skill. You didn't better yourself. You're just the same person you did 10 years ago. You didn't grow. And that's what life is about. Even out here, you know, you want to grow. You want to grow regardless. You know, in a skill and money, finances, your spirit, everything. You want to just continue to grow, you know. But anyhow, guys, that was a good question my nephew posed. That's a good one. That's a very good, intelligent question right there. So hopefully whoever's listening to this will listen to that, you know, listen to that advice, however old you are, you know, or pass it on to your kids or nephews. You know, if you see that they're troubled kids, or, you know, trying to dabble, you know, in the streets, it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth it, guys. All right, guys, thanks again for subscribing, for checking in on us, for keep following us, checking us out. So I was gonna say also, you know, we spend our time, our gas, and our money to come out here to shoot videos for you guys, man. So it ain't gonna hurt you to hit the like button or subscribe, guys. All right, guys, we're out, man. Appreciate y'all.